this situation proves is that the live streaming services that these companies are trying to push are a complete and utter failure. Like, do not do that. You need to push people to buy the game.
Yeah, can we talk about that actually really quick?
Which
about what Smash said about the live streaming or whatever.
Oh yeah. Okay, live service.
Not today, apparently. No. So I said so many times, and I know you guys did in your videos too, but I've said so many times that the people who are out there genuinely trying to tell me that this game was going to come close to Inquisition numbers or whatever, I was like, even if the game was good, right? Even if the game got good press and the chuds were like, oh, maybe we were wrong, whatever. There's no fucking way this game is getting anywhere close to what Inquisition did, because Inquisition came out and existed at a time where, you know, EA Play Pro wasn't a thing, or, you know, PlayStation free monthly games wasn't a thing, or Epic Games, you know, free weekly games wasn't a thing. When you have these subscription services, you are automatically screwing over a lot of potential retail sales, which is going to bring your number down regardless, which is why I genuinely believe a lot of these games that are AAA with established IPs that have been around a long time, on top of them fucking over the original games and screwing over the fans of those games, even if they didn't do that, I don't think they would get anywhere close to the numbers they used to pull back in the day, simply because of the different market that we have now. And it's been proven that a lot of these subscription services are not profitable. Even Game Pass is barely profitable. I think it's genuinely barely profitable, and it's one of the biggest ones out there.
You know what it was, Hypno? Just speaking from someone who is very familiar with the stock market. I made a good amount of money on GameStop back in the day. I understand how it works. These suits were selling the promise of a hockey stick type, oh, look at how much money we're going to make with this service. And they didn't give a shit about the future. They were selling the promise of it to get golden parachutes and get the fuck out. And that's what they did.
It's what consulting firms. It's what consulting firms do as well. By the way, like companies like SBI, they try to sell you the fact that, like, oh no, do exactly what we tell you to do, and we promise y'all are gonna make good on your investments. And then they somehow convince the people in sales to convince the investors that this same shit is going to happen. And then when it all goes downhill, you know what SBI does? They just go in the fucking background, wait it out a little bit, even if they get exposed, and then they come back in and seduce somebody else for more money.
Have you seen
fucking
it's like they don't ask for permission. They ask for forgiveness. And then, like, by the time of forgiveness, they're already fucking out.
Smash, you know
I'm going to be contrarian here for a moment and say that I like I like the fact that things like Game Pass and EA Pass and all exist. But the reason is because when you have a $10 subscription service or whatever the amount of money it is, and these people are going to use that, and they're going to play 30 or 40 different games, guess what? The studios aren't getting money for those games, which means they're not going to have budgets for their next games. Actually, these subscription models existing will lead us to a faster burning of the industry that we all want to see die, more than us, like voting with our wallets or any videos we make will. So yes, by all means, continue to push that Game Pass, continue to push this EA subscription bullshit, because Hypno, Game Pass actually hasn't, at least as of Xbox's last statements, hasn't turned a profit yet, which is, excuse me, why they said they need to push it even harder.
I mean,
really
look,
quick, have you seen the trade-in value of Dragon Age of Veilguard? I'm sure some of you have. $20 for a game that just fucking came out.
Are you serious?
A week and a half out.
I thought they were just joking.
Nope.
No, that's actually real trade-in value.
We're not even talking a full 10 days since it launched. And it's
That's worse than Anthem.
That's terrible. Yes.
They're trying to discourage people from returning the game because they're getting mass returns. I'm telling you. There's a lot of people out there that bought this game not paying attention. And you know what's funny? The only good thing that's going to come out of Veilguard is that Veilguard probably woke up tens of thousands of people, more than we ever could.
In the gaming space?
Ironically, like Hypnotic said before, it's actually helping all of us out, because these people are waking up and they're like,
it is.
What the fuck, what's wrong with this? They go to YouTube and be like, oh, and they find us.
You know how many people on TikTok that have told me, like, oh my God, I never knew about this until you posted that video. And then they go, I don't want this. Just regular people. And that's where they're really going to lose. Because once you get the general audience going, yeah, I don't really want that anymore, that's when you fuck up and lose, because now they're attentive to it and they're not going to buy it. It's easy for us to say we're not going to buy it because we're actual gamers and stuff and we pay attention to this stuff. But once the general audience sees it and you lose them, that's when the real change starts to happen. So,
and you know what's crazy, Kada? There is a YouTuber that I was like watching just for research purposes called Wolfhard FPS. I think I've seen him a few times in the past. He actually gave a very, very objective review of the game, and even his take on Veilguard is shameful to say the least in terms of like how the game actually works. And now it makes sense why you kept complaining all the time.
Fuck Veilguard.
No, like seriously, it's literally the worst fears.
It's a fart in a hurricane style.
Yeah, but Will, it's literally the worst fears that you could think like could happen to like your favorite RPG franchise. They focus too much on like repetitive, easily exploitable combat. The side quests are fucking boring, and the worst part is they try to implement the MMO live service strategy with items, where they make it to where you can get a new item.
Is anybody surprised by this though? This is what they always do.
Not. But like what I'm trying to say is like at this point, I'm glad this game came out in the sense like people finally been exposed to the bullshit. I mean, I would have wished it wouldn't have been, Dragon Age, Ryan. But
invested in Dragon Age, BioWare, or EA products like this, you're still pretty pissed off and salty about it. And
of course. But Will, at the end of the day, like it had to happen sometime, right? Like it had to be a very big splash.
No, it didn't have to happen at all. None of this had to happen.
I know, but I mean, look,
stakeholder capitalism didn't have to happen.
We could have prevented that from happening. It could have been prevented, but they chose not to.
The people with the power and authority made it happen.
I know, but they didn't want to fucking
we're the rebellion
to change it. So at that point, like, we got to put up with whatever the end
didn't
product
have
was.
To happen, man, but nobody could stop it.
I know, but fucking hell, man, it happened. And we got to deal with this shit.
Trying to tell you, drop the subject on draft.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck you, Hypno. But yeah, anyway.
But really quick, I do have one question. Steam, because I can't pull it up here, my internet shit. SteamDB, what's the 24-hour number on Veilguard now? Considering we're in the weekend, it's Saturday, so this is the second weekend in a row. If this shit is half of what the first weekend is, the game's cooked.
It's probably lower, and I guarantee you, Stardew Valley is above it.
It's
46,706 people right now. It's even lower than last time.
46,000.
Oh my god!
Hasn't even reached.
Two is higher.
They're fucked. I'm sorry, they are so cooked. Right,
they've fallen into the worst.
I'm talking about the 24-hour peak. So 24-hour peak's 59,385. That's pretty rough for
That's
second.
Not good.
Weekend.
That's not good anyway.
Not good.
Once you can't make it into the rankings, you've fallen into irrelevance, where it's not even worth having a go and getting angry about it anymore. And now it's just a meh.
They're not going to get those numbers back ever. It's never going to be like that.
that kind of proves to me that there has been a lot of refunds. And again,
what happened 2 days ago to give it a 0? Because there was a time where literally 0 people were playing it.
No, I think someone edited the photo as
no. I'm on the Steam database right now. It's literally showing that.
It was probably there was like an outage. Like there's no way.
That's why I'm asking. Like, was there any report on like was the game doing an update or something like that? Because there is a period.
They may have been updating their data at the time, so
okay,
that may have been why.
There was a patch recently that they did.
This is a situation where they announced they're not going to be doing DLC for the game, and that's them basically taking a knife to it and twisting it. They're like, it's done. Like they're like, nope, they're moving on.
What's Game Analytics showing? Can you scroll down? Really
what are we talking about? What analytics?
Gamealytic. Bro, it went down again. I filmed a video today about this. It was at 617,000 Gamealytic. Now it's down to 603.
Oh wow.
Damn near almost at the high five.
That means there were a lot of refunds that happened.
Going down. I've never seen this situation where Gamealytic was wrong so many times that it kept going down. I've never seen that. It only ever usually goes up, even if it's slightly.
Wait, that's sales?
Estimated sales.
That's
estimated sales.
Yeah, when I did a video earlier today, it said 617,000.
Like when I found out it was around 500, and Demian said it was around 500, and that was like a couple days ago. I'm like,
actually, Smash. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. If you click it, it'll give you the real live number. That's like a little bit lagged. Click it. Scroll down? What's the number say? Let's see. It might be higher or lower. I don't know.
My internet loads.
You got the hamster wheel internet. God,
I have like I have just got fiber. Like, this is very fast internet. This is the website.
dude.
Taking forever.
Yeah,
This
bro's
is-
on that. He's on that
To be
Biden
fair,
list.
the Steam charts page is also loading really slow right now. I think that stuff about Dragon Age may be being throttled.
Yeah, all
I
the trans
got it
people
on my
DDoSing
end.
it, that's why.
Let's see. They say copy sold 600.7K.
600.7, so it's
Oh,
right
boy,
at 600,000.
So it went down.
It went down slightly.
It went down even more. Yeah, so the number keeps going down. I've never seen this before, ever.
They're doing
in any
refunds,
game
dude.
that's ever come out, and it's because of refunds. I'm telling you, it's because of
It
refunds.
has to be. That's the only reason the number would go
G&G
down.
reported 30,000. I don't know what G&G's source was, but they reported 30,000 copies refunded.
Yeah, that's the number going
Well, look,
around right
if,
now.
If
That
they
seems
had
to
a lot
match.
of people that bought the game, they wouldn't have shut up about it. They would have been like, "Oh, we had this number sold, all
Right,
these sales, breaking all these records." So the fact that they're not saying anything lets you know that this shit is flopping.
I've never heard of a game getting 30,000 returns in the first week and a half. I've never heard
That's
of that in my
ridiculous.
life.
Never in my
Last
life.
of Us
Well, to
2.
be fair, that didn't used to be an
Yeah.
option. Think about it. That's
Don't get me started on
a
Last of Us
relatively
2. I
new
like
trend
that
because
game.
back when we didn't have things like Steam where you could buy it and like, oh, 2 hours in, get a refund. Man, if it was the PS1, PS2, PS3
Last
days,
of Us
you
2.
buy a game,
Yeah.
bingo, bango, bongo, you own that bitch. Like, it doesn't matter if it sucks. That's
Also-
a new thing.
Also, keep in mind too, like there is way too many normal people out there that don't know about this shit. So, we talk about SBI all the time. We talk about consultancy groups and whatnot. But when people picked up Final Fantasy Rebirth, they aren't tied to this shit. Do you think most of them knew anything, about SBI or could you see any influence from SBI in that
No.
game? Not
I didn't,
really.
no.
The Oyster Bar scene is gay as fuck in the original, and it's going to be gay as fuck in the remake,
Right.
if not a little bit more. So, but when you have something that is so egregious like Veilguard, where it's on the nose to the point where you can't not see it. It doesn't matter if you're a normie or not. You boot that bitch up, and within the first hour, you're choosing whether or not you want your character to be trans. And I'm not talking about the character creator. I'm talking about actually choosing whether or not to be trans through
It's
a
gonna
mirror
red
scene.
pill some people, yeah.
That's gonna wake some people up, and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck? Since when can I be trans?" And then once you go down the rabbit hole,
Hypno, think
it's
about
it's
it.
a lost red eye moment for gamers, for
Yeah.
RP
Yeah.
gamers, I'd say.
I
yeah.
mean,
That's-
what normie would want to fucking play a game where literally a character in a random relationship development arc, literally the first words they say is, "I'm non-binary." Like, what the fuck?